The first shot cracks wrong. Eugene Barrett freezes. That is not a blank. That is live ammunition. Contact! A SEAL screams from the valley floor. Real rounds! Real rounds! 8 operators scramble for cover. Bullets ricochet off rocks. Sparks fly in bright orange streaks. Dust clouds erupt like small explosions. The high-pitched whine of copper jackets on granite fills the thin mountain air. The valley erupts into chaos. Men diving, shouting, grabbing for weapons they thought were loaded with training ammunition. Lieutenant Bradshaw's voice rips through the radio. What is happening? Gunnery Sergeant Dixon spins toward Eugene. His face is red, veins bulging in his neck like steel cables. Do something! She reaches for her radio, presses the transmit button. Nothing. No static. No response. She flips it over. The battery compartment is empty. Someone pulled it. OP-4 keeps firing from the ridges above. They do not know the ammunition is real. They think this is still training. Standard force-on-force exercise. But those rounds are punching holes in equipment packs, shattering stone, sending fragments into the air like shrapnel from a grenade. A SEAL goes down. Leg wound, dark stain spreading across his pant leg like spilled ink. He is screaming. 60 seconds until OP-4 advances to finish the objective. If they close distance with live ammunition, all 8 operators die. Dixon shoves Eugene aside. Get out of the way. You are useless. Eugene does not move. Her eyes track the eastern ridge. 478 meters. Wind 3 knots from the northwest. Temperature 41 degrees. Humidity low. Coriolis effect negligible at this range but present. Air density at 8,200 feet. Elevation reduces drag. Calculations she has not run in 3 years surface like muscle memory. Like breathing, she turns, runs, not away from the gunfire, toward the cliff face. Retired Master Sergeant Kowalski watches her sprint toward the rocks. His weathered face goes pale. His hand drops from the binoculars. He knows that run. He taught her that run 12 years ago. 2 hours earlier. The briefing room sits at 8,200 feet elevation. 18 people crammed into a space built for 12. The walls are plywood. The floor is concrete. A single heater in the corner barely keeps the temperature above freezing. SEAL team operators lean against the walls, arms crossed, rifles slung, watching. OP-4 personnel check magazines. Range staff huddle near a coffee pot that has not been cleaned in weeks. The coffee smells like burnt rubber. Eugene stands at the front, 5'3", 115 pounds. Navy blue range safety jacket over a gray base layer. Dark hair pulled into a tight bun, not a single strand out of place. She holds a clipboard like a shield. She is explaining fragmentation safety distances when Lieutenant Bradshaw cuts her off. Ma'am, his voice carries across the room. Sharp, commanding. Have you ever actually fired a weapon in combat? The room goes quiet. Eugene looks at him. Flat expression. No emotion visible. I have fired weapons, Lieutenant. Gunnery Sergeant Dixon laughs. It is a deep sound, dismissive, like he is laughing at a joke only he understands. She looks like she would drop a rifle if you handed it to her. A few chuckles ripple through the SEAL team. One operator elbows another. Someone mutters something about diversity hires. Another voice says something about checking boxes. The words are quiet but deliberate. Equipment NCO Sergeant Hayes speaks from the corner. His voice is quieter, more careful, more dangerous. Maybe stick to paperwork, ma'am. Eugene does not respond. She turns back to the whiteboard, continues the brief. Ceasefire protocols, emergency medical evacuation routes, radio frequencies for the exercise. Her handwriting is perfect, military standard, every letter exact. Bradshaw interrupts again. With all due respect, ma'am, my team operates in mountains. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Yemen. We need someone who understands combat conditions. Real combat conditions. I understand combat conditions, Lieutenant. Do you? It is not a question. It is a challenge. Eugene sets down the marker, walks to the equipment rack against the wall. The room watches, every eye on her. Picks up a Barrett M82. The rifle is 4 feet long, weighs 30 pounds unloaded. A weapon that can punch through engine blocks at a mile. A weapon that can take a man's head off at 2,000 meters. She lifts it one-handed, settles it on her shoulder in a single smooth motion. Her left hand finds the forestock without looking, without hesitation. Right thumb rests naturally on the safety selector. She performs a brass check, pulls the charging handle back 3 inches, visually confirms the chamber is empty, releases it with controlled tension. No slap, no noise. The motion takes 2 seconds. Retired Master Sergeant Kowalski sits in the back corner. He is 64 years old. Marine Corps Scout Sniper School instructor for 23 years before retirement. 2 tours in Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan. He straightens in his chair. His coffee cup stops halfway to his mouth. That is not beginner handling. That is thousands of rounds through that exact weapon system. That is muscle memory built over years. Eugene sets the rifle down, returns to the whiteboard. At this elevation, wind drift doubles every 200 meters. Coriolis effect shifts point of impact 4 inches right at 1,000 meters. Temperature affects muzzle velocity by approximately 1 foot per second for every degree Fahrenheit. Humidity reduces air density, increases range, decreases drop. She says it like reciting a grocery list, like reading a phone book. Kowalski leans forward, his eyes narrow. The room is still watching Eugene, but Kowalski is watching something else. The way she moves, the way she stands, the way her eyes track the room without moving her head. Only someone who has calculated firing solutions under pressure knows those numbers that precisely. Only someone who has taken shots in combat moves like that. Bradshaw exchanges a glance with his team sergeant. Hayes watches Eugene from the corner. His expression is unreadable, but his eyes are calculating, measuring. Dixon crosses his arms. Lucky guess. Eugene does not respond. She finishes the brief, assigns radio frequencies, reviews hand signals for ceasefire commands, explains the emergency extraction plan if weather deteriorates, points to the map, shows the rally points, the medical evacuation routes, the fallback positions. Any questions? Silence. Exercise begins at 0700 hours. Dismissed. The room empties. Operators file out. OP4 personnel follow. The sound of boots on concrete fades. Kowalski lingers. He approaches Eugene as she gathers her notes. His movements are slow, deliberate, the way a man moves when he is trying not to spook a wild animal. Barrett. His voice is low, almost a whisper. Eugene Barrett. Marine Scout Sniper School, Class 2011? Eugene looks at him. Her face gives nothing away. You taught a lot of students, Sergeant. Not many who could handle a Barrett M82 like that. Not many who know wind calculations for 8,000 feet. Not many who move like you just moved. I have had practice. Where? Around. Kowalski studies her face. Recognition flickers in his eyes. Something else too. Uncertainty, memory trying to surface. If I did not know better, I would say you were one of mine. Top of the class. First female to graduate Mountain Warfare course. First female selected for JSOC Scout Sniper program. But that is impossible, because you do not know better, Sergeant. Eugene picks up her clipboard. Exercise starts in 90 minutes. I need to inspect the range. She walks out. Kowalski watches her go. He pulls out his phone, opens a secure messaging app. The screen glows in the dim room. Types 3 words. Is she back? His finger hovers over send. He deletes it without sending. Sits in the empty briefing room, staring at nothing, remembering a young Marine 12 years ago. 19 years old, 5'3", small enough that the instructors laughed when she showed up, small enough that the other students bet money she would wash out in the first week, small enough that everyone underestimated her, until she outshot men twice her size, until she outclimatized mountains that broke experienced operators, until she earned the nickname Ghost. If you have ever seen someone underestimated because of how they look, hit like and subscribe. The twists in this story will shock you. The observation post sits on a plateau 200 meters above the valley floor. Eugene arrives at 0630 hours. The sun has not cleared the peaks yet. Shadows stretch long across the rocky terrain like fingers. The temperature is 38 degrees. Frost covers the rocks. Dixon is already there. So is Hayes. They are checking equipment, radios, spotting scopes. The emergency flare gun sits on a metal case. Batteries are laid out in rows. Eugene sets down her pack, pulls out a rangefinder, begins marking distances to key terrain features. Her notebook is weatherproof, tactical, the kind special operations use in the field. Dixon watches her. You even know how to use that? Eugene does not look up. Yes. She aims at a boulder on the eastern ridge, presses the button. The laser bounces back. The display reads 478 meters. She writes it in her notebook. The handwriting is precise, military standard, but there is something else. A notation system, abbreviations, code, moves to the next reference point. Hayes leans against the radio equipment. His posture is casual, too casual. "Ma'am, I set up the frequencies like you specified. Thank you, Sergeant. Though I have to say, some of those channels seemed unusual. Higher encryption than standard, more bandwidth than we need for a training exercise." Eugene glances at him. "How so?" "Just higher level encryption than we normally use for training exercises. The kind of encryption you would use for real operations." "Classified operations, Colonel's orders." Hayes nods slowly. "Right, of course. Colonel's orders." He turns back to the radio. His fingers brush against one of the battery packs. The motion is casual, practiced, so smooth that anyone else would miss it. But Eugene's eyes track it for half a second before returning to her rangefinder. She saw. Dixon walks to the edge of the plateau, looks down at the valley, the rocky floor, the steep walls, the perfect kill zone. SEALs think they are hot stuff. About time someone showed them real mountain warfare. About time they learned what it is like to operate in terrain that does not forgive mistakes. OP4 is well trained, Eugene says. They are kids playing dress-up. Marines who have never seen real combat, never been under real fire. "They are Marines, Sergeant." Dixon grunts, turns away. Eugene continues marking ranges. 612 meters to the western outcropping, 340 meters to the southern saddle, 892 meters to the northern ridge where OP4 will position their heaviest element. Every distance exact, every angle calculated. Kowalski arrives at 0645 hours. He is carrying a spotting scope and a thermos of coffee. The thermos is dented. Military issue, 20 years old at least. He sets up position 20 feet from Eugene, close enough to observe, far enough to not crowd. "Morning, ma'am. Sergeant. Sleep well? Well enough." He pours coffee into a metal cup. The steam rises in the cold air, offers it to her. She shakes her head. "You sure? Gonna be a long day." "Cold day. Coffee helps." "I am fine." Kowalski sips his coffee, watches her work, studies every movement. "You calculating firing positions?" "Observation points. Looks like firing positions to me. Looks like you are mapping fields of fire, dead zones, escape routes, the kind of thing a sniper does before setting up a hide site." Eugene does not respond. She writes another distance in her notebook. Kowalski catches a glimpse of the page. The handwriting is precise, military standard, but there is something else, a notation system he recognizes. Dope data, distance, observation, previous engagements. That is sniper terminology. That is what scout snipers use to record shooting data. Wind, temperature, humidity, elevation, every variable that affects a bullet over distance. He starts to speak. Stops. Drinks his coffee instead. Watches the valley. Thinks about a young Marine 12 years ago who could calculate wind drift in her head, who could read terrain like a book, who moved through mountains like smoke. At 0655 hours, the SEAL team enters the valley from the southern approach. 8 operators in full kit, helmets, plate carriers, rifles with blank firing adapters attached. The adapters are bright yellow, impossible to miss. Supposed to prevent live ammunition from being loaded. They move in a tactical column, spacing good, 5 meters between operators. Weapons discipline tight, muzzles down and safe. Communication through hand signals. Professional, well-trained. Bradshaw's voice comes over the radio. "Range safety, this is Alpha 1, entering the objective area." Eugene picks up her radio, keys the microphone. Nothing happens, no static, no transmission light, no response. She looks down. The battery compartment is open, empty. The battery is gone. Hayes glances over. His face shows concern. Practiced concern. "Problem, ma'am? Battery is missing. Must have fallen out." "I have a spare." He reaches into an equipment bag, pulls out a battery pack, hands it to her. The metal is cold. The contacts are visible. Eugene examines it, turns it over in her hand. The contacts are corroded. Green oxidation. Old. This battery has not held a charge in months, maybe years. "This will not work, Sergeant." Hayes frowns. Confusion. Concern. "That is strange. I just inventoried these last week. Every battery tested, every battery charged. I do not understand how. Dixon pulls a radio from his belt, interrupts. Use mine, ma'am. Eugene takes it, tests the transmission. Static crackles. Alpha 1, this is range safety. Copy? Bradshaw's voice responds. Clear, loud and clear, proceeding to phase line Alpha. The SEALs advance into the valley, 8 operators moving through terrain that will become a kill zone. OP4 is already in position. Eugene can see them through binoculars. 7 Marines spread across the eastern ridge. Good concealment, using rocks for cover, proper fields of fire overlapping the valley floor. Interlocking sectors. This is textbook ambush setup, the kind that gets people killed in real combat. At 0700 hours, the exercise begins. The first blank rounds crack out at 0703 hours. OP4 opens up from the ridge. The sound echoes off the valley walls, multiplies, becomes deafening. The SEALs react immediately. They drop, return fire, tactical movement toward cover, bounding by teams. One team moves while the other provides suppressive fire. Then switch, leapfrog, standard infantry tactics. It is loud, chaotic, but controlled. Eugene tracks the action through her binoculars. The SEALs are good, very good. They are moving like a machine. Every operator knows his job, knows his sector, knows his fields of fire. Bradshaw's voice comes through. Range safety, taking effective fire from Grid November, Victor 724, requesting air support simulation. Eugene keys Dixon's radio. Alpha 1, simulation approved. Fast movers on station in 3 minutes. Standard exercise progression, by the book. Everything going according to plan. OP4 shifts position. They are trying to flank. One fire team moves along the ridge, using terrain, staying low. Good tactics. The SEALs counter, set up a base of fire. Maneuver element pushes forward, trying to close distance, trying to get under the enemy's field of fire. It is going exactly as planned, exactly as rehearsed, exactly as briefed, until 0718 hours. A SEAL operator fires a burst, 3 rounds, standard controlled burst. The sound is wrong, too sharp, too loud, too real. Eugene's head snaps up, her entire body goes rigid. That was not a blank. Before she can key the radio, the ridge erupts. OP4 returns fire. More wrong sounds. Bullets hitting rock with impact. Real impact. Sparks flying in bright streaks. The distinctive crack of supersonic rounds breaking the sound barrier. Cease fire! Eugene shouts into the radio. Cease fire! Cease fire! Nothing happens. OP4 keeps firing. They are wearing ear protection, foam plugs, electronic muffs, cannot hear her radio calls, cannot hear her shouting. The doctrine is to follow visual signals or radio commands from their own team leader. Their team leader thinks this is still training. A SEAL goes down. His leg buckles underneath him. He grabs his thigh. Red spreading through his fingers, staining the tan fabric dark. He is screaming. The sound cuts through everything. Bradshaw's voice, panicked now, high, stressed. Real rounds. Those are real rounds. Cease fire. Cease fire. But OP4 cannot hear him. Different radio net, different frequency, different command structure. Eugene grabs the emergency flare gun. It is supposed to signal immediate exercise termination. Universal signal. Everyone knows it. Everyone trained on it. She aims up, points at the sky, pulls the trigger. Nothing. The firing pin clicks on an empty chamber. Dry fire. No flare, no smoke, no signal. Someone removed the flare. Dixon stares at the valley. His face has gone white, sheet white, like all the blood has drained out. This is not... This cannot be. Hayes backs away from the radio equipment. His eyes dart to the trail leading down from the observation post. His hand moves toward his pocket, stops, moves away. Eugene drops the flare gun. Her mind races through options. Calculating, analyzing. No radio to OP4, no flare, no direct line of sight for hand signals. They are 400 meters away behind rocks, cannot see the observation post. The SEALs are pinned. Return fire would be deadly, would be murder. They are trying to retreat, but the valley is narrow. Rocky walls on 3 sides. Only one way out, and OP4 is between them and the exit. OP4 advances. Standard doctrine. Assault through the objective. Close with the enemy. Finish the mission. They are carrying what they think are training grenades. Smoke, flashbangs, harmless. One Marine pulls a grenade from his vest. Cylindrical, metal, prepares to throw, pulls the pin. The safety lever springs free. If that is live, the SEALs in that confined space. Eugene runs, not toward the trail, not toward safety, not toward help, toward the cliff face. Dixon shouts after her, "Where are you going? We need to call base. We need backup. Where are you?" Kowalski grabs his binoculars, tracks her movement. She is sprinting toward a rock formation. Vertical, steep. There is a climbing route there, barely visible, dangerous, exposed. It leads up to a higher ridge, 200 meters elevation gain. A sniper position, a position he showed to his top students 12 years ago, a position that does not exist on any official map. His blood goes cold. No way. It cannot be. She cannot be. Hayes is already moving, running down the trail, away from the observation post, away from the chaos, away from the screaming, away from the blood, fleeing. Eugene reaches the cliff face. It is a 60-degree slope. Loose rock, shale, granite, no rope, no equipment, no safety gear. She does not hesitate, grabs the first handhold, pulls herself up. Her boots find purchase on narrow ledges, inches wide. Her fingers find cracks invisible to anyone else. She climbs fast. Faster than safe, faster than smart. Muscle memory from mountains in Afghanistan, in Syria, in places she is not supposed to remember, in places she is not supposed to have been. Kowalski watches through the spotting scope. His hands are shaking. She is climbing to the sniper nest, the hide site I built, the position I showed to exactly 3 students in 23 years. Dixon looks at him, his face confused, terrified. The what? There is a natural hide site at the top of that formation, 200 meters elevation gain, perfect line of sight to the entire valley, 360-degree field of view, natural concealment, wind shadow, perfect shooting platform. So, only someone with advanced mountaineering and long-range shooting training would know that position exists. Kowalski's hands tighten on the scope. The metal is cold. I only showed it to my top students, the ones who could handle it, the ones who earned it. Below, the situation deteriorates. OP4 throws a grenade. It arcs through the air, tumbles end over end, lands 15 feet from the pinned SEALs. The explosion is real. Not training, not simulation, not exercise. Real. Fragments rip through the air like angry hornets. Rocks shatter into shrapnel. A SEAL takes hits in the shoulder. Multiple impacts. He goes down hard, does not move. Bradshaw is screaming into his radio, trying to reach anyone. Command, base, God. Anyone who can help. Anyone who can stop this. 2 SEALs are wounded now. 6 still in the fight, but they are trapped, pinned down. No cover, no escape, no help coming. OP4 is 30 seconds from overrunning their position. Kowalski grabs Dixon's radio. "This is Master Sergeant Kowalski. Emergency termination of exercise Kodiak. All units cease fire. Repeat, all units cease fire. This is not a drill. This is a real emergency." OP4 does not respond. They are on a different net. Cannot hear him. Cannot receive his transmission. He tries the emergency channel, the one that is supposed to override everything, the one that is supposed to reach everyone. Static, just static. Someone has sabotaged the communications, cut the lines, killed the signals, isolated the valley. Dixon sits down heavily, like his legs cannot hold him anymore. His hands shake. "This is my fault. This is all my fault." Kowalski glances at him. "What?" "Hayes. He had something on me. Old incident. DUI. 10 years ago. Covered it up. Buried the paperwork. He said if I did not cooperate, he would report it. End my career. Destroy my pension. I just thought he wanted easier duty rotations. Lighter workload. I did not know he would. I swear I did not know he was swapping rounds. I did not know he was... Cooperate with what? Looking the other way. Equipment transfers. Ammunition inventories. Signing off on paperwork without checking. Dixon's voice cracks, breaks. I did not know he was swapping rounds. I swear to God I did not know. Kowalski stares at him, then back at the valley, at the SEALs dying, at the Marines unknowingly committing murder, at the chaos, at the blood. where Eugene Barrett is climbing toward a position that should not exist on any range map, a position she should not know about, unless she is who he thinks she is, unless she is Ghost. Eugene is halfway up the cliff. Her jacket catches on a rock outcropping, sharp edge, volcanic rock, tears. The fabric rips down the shoulder seam. The sound is loud in her ears. Underneath, on her upper arm, black ink is visible, a tattoo. Kowalski zooms the spotting scope, maximum magnification. His breath catches, stops in his throat. It is a skull, Marine Scout sniper insignia. The crossed rifles, the rope, the traditional design. But there is something else, something added, a mountain silhouette behind it, steep peaks, sharp edges, and numbers below. He cannot make out all of them from this distance. The angle is wrong, the movement too fast. But he sees enough. 0317, Marine Scout Sniper MOS code, and below it, partially obscured by her shifting sleeve, 4 letters, JSOC, Joint Special Operations Command. Impossible, he whispers. She died. Syria. 2019. I read the casualty report. Attended the memorial. She is dead. Eugene reaches the top of the formation. She is 200 meters above the valley floor now. The elevation gives her perspective, overview, dominance. The position is a natural rock shelter, 3 feet deep, 4 feet wide, 6 feet tall, perfect concealment. A trained sniper could sit here for days and never be seen. Weather protection, wind shadow, solid shooting platform. She drops her pack, unzips it with force that do not shake. Do not hesitate. Inside is a rifle, not the Barrett M82 from the briefing room, not the training rifle from the equipment rack. This is different, smaller, sleeker, deadlier. A Remington M24, bolt action, 7.62 NATO. The weapon of choice for precision shooting when you cannot afford a miss, when one shot is all you get, when lives depend on perfection. Kowalski's hands start to shake. The spotting scope trembles. That rifle is not on any equipment manifest, not on any inventory sheet, not issued by any armory. She brought it herself. Eugene assembles the rifle in 14 seconds. Barrel, stock, scope, bolt. She has done this thousands of times. In the dark, in the rain, under fire, while wounded, while exhausted, while terrified. The motions are automatic. Muscle memory, pure reflex. She chambers around. The brass gleams gold in the morning light, adjusts the scope parallax, 50 meters, 100, 200, 300, stos. Checks to the windage knob. 2 clicks right. Elevation. 3 clicks up. Below, in the valley, OP4 is 10 seconds from overrunning the SEAL position. The team leader raises his hand, signals the assault. 7 Marines stand, begin moving forward, rifles up, fingers on triggers. They are carrying live ammunition. They think they are still training, still playing war, still safe. They do not know they are about to commit murder. Eugene settles behind the rifle, cheek weld to the stock, eye to the scope. The world narrows, becomes small, becomes simple, becomes a circle of glass. Her breathing slows. 4 counts in, hold, 4 counts out. Heart rate drops, 60 beats per minute, 50, 40. The world narrows to the reticle. She finds the OP4 team leader in the scope. He is 300 meters away. Moving, walking, rifle at the ready. Wind is 4 knots now, shifted to the west, coming across the valley, creating eddies, swirls, unpredictable. She adjusts for wind, for elevation, for the target's movement, for the air density, for the temperature, for humidity. Her finger rests on the trigger, 2 pounds of pressure, 3. The rifle has a 4-pound trigger pull, but she does not shoot, not yet, not the right shot. Comment below. What do you think happens when those blanks turn out to be real rounds? How does she save the team? In the observation post, Dixon is on his feet, pacing back and forth. 6 steps, turn, 6 steps, turn. We have to do something. We have to stop this. We have to call someone, anyone. Kowalski keeps the scope on Eugene. She is doing something. What? Hiding? Running away? Saving herself? Watch. Eugene shifts her aim. She is not targeting the OP4 team leader anymore, not aiming at a human being, not planning to take a life. She is aiming at something else. A smoke grenade on the Marine's vest. Cylindrical, metal, clipped to his load-bearing vest, right side, easy access. It is a precision shot. 70-degree angle, downward, moving target, small impact point, 6 inches by 3 inches. If she misses, the bullet could hit the Marine, could end his life, could turn her from protector to killer. If she hits, the grenade will deploy. Create a smoke screen. Give the SEALs 30 seconds to reposition, 30 seconds to retreat, 30 seconds to survive. But there is a problem. Some of those grenades have been swapped. Smoke grenades replaced with fragmentation grenades. Hayes' sabotage runs deep, thorough, comprehensive. If Eugene hits a fragmentation grenade, it detonates, takes out the Marine carrying it, takes out everyone within the blast radius, kills the people she is trying to save. She has no way to know which grenade is which, no way to identify, no way to be certain. Kowalski sees her hesitate, just for a moment, half a second, maybe less. She is calculating. Risk versus reward. 1 life versus 8. Probability. Percentage. Acceptable losses. The math is brutal, unforgiving. The OPFOR team leader is 5 meters from the SEAL position. 4, 3, 2. Eugene takes the shot. The rifle cracks, sharp, loud. The sound echoes off the valley walls. The recoil pushes back against her shoulder. Familiar, expected, controlled. The round travels 300 meters in 0.4 seconds. Impacts. The grenade on the Marine's vest erupts, but it is smoke, not fragmentation, not explosive. Gray-white clouds billow out, thick, dense, chemical smoke, obscure the valley floor in seconds. The OPFOR team stops, confused, cannot see, cannot maneuver through smoke without breaking formation, without losing coordination, without becoming vulnerable. The SEALs use the 30 seconds. They drag their wounded. One operator grabs the man with the leg wound, pulls him behind larger rocks. Another grabs the shoulder wound, hauls him to cover. They retreat toward the southern wall, find defensive positions behind boulders, behind cover, behind protection. Bradshaw's voice over the radio, strained, panicked, confused. Who fired that shot? Who is shooting? No one answers. Eugene chambers another round. The bolt moves smooth, well-oiled, well-maintained, finds a second target through the thinning smoke. Another smoke grenade, different Marine, different position. Fires. Another cloud. More confusion, more cover. The smoke spreads across the valley floor like fog, like a living thing. OPFOR holds position. Their team leader is trying to regain control, trying to figure out what is happening, trying to understand. Hand signals, radio calls, shouting. But Eugene is not done. She shifts aim to the ridge, to a radio antenna mounted on a rock. Thin metal, whip antenna, 4 feet tall. The OPFOR command element uses it to coordinate with their team leader, to pass orders, to control the battle. One shot, the antenna shatters. Metal fragments spray, the radio goes dead. OPFOR loses communications. Now they have no choice. Standard operating procedure when communications go down in a training exercise is to halt advance, return to rally point, wait for instructions. Wait for the range safety officer to restore communications. Wait for the exercise to reset. The Marines begin withdrawing, pulling back, moving away from the valley floor, away from the SEALs, away from the killing zone. The SEALs are safe, for now, for 30 seconds, until someone figures out what is happening. Kowalski lowers the spotting scope. His hands are shaking, trembling. That was... He cannot finish the sentence, cannot find words. Dixon stares at the ridge where Eugene is positioned, 200 meters up, invisible, hidden. Who is she? What is she? Below, in the valley, Bradshaw is performing triage on his wounded. 1 leg wound, tourniquets, pressure, 1 shoulder injury, multiple fragment wounds, both serious but not fatal, not immediately life-threatening. He is also looking for whoever fired those shots, scanning the ridges, the high ground, the terrain. He raises his binoculars, military issue, 7 power magnification, scans the ridgeline, finds Eugene. She is packing up the rifle, moving fast, breaking down the weapon. But not fast enough, not invisible anymore. Bradshaw sees the weapon, sees her, sees the torn jacket and the tattoo underneath, the ink, the skull, the mountain. Even from 300 meters away, through binoculars, with smoke still drifting, he can make out the skull. His radio crackles. Range safety, this is Alpha 1. Who is on that ridge? Identify yourself. Eugene does not answer, does not transmit, does not respond. She slings the rifle, starts climbing down, faster than safe, faster than smart. Kowalski grabs Dixon's radio. Alpha 1, stand by. Situation is under control. Under control? Bradshaw's voice is loud, angry, raw. 2 of my men are wounded. Someone swapped live rounds for blanks. Someone tried to kill us. And there is a sniper on that ridge who just fired 3 shots, who is not authorized, who is not identified, who is... The transmission cuts off, not from Kowalski's end, from the base station. Someone just killed all radio communications, all frequencies, all channels, emergency, command, everything. Complete communications blackout. Kowalski and Dixon exchange looks. Haze. He is not just sabotaging the exercise, not just swapping ammunition, not just removing batteries and flares. He is covering his tracks, making sure no one can call for help, no backup, no medical evacuation, no witnesses, no evidence. And Eugene is climbing down into a valley with 8 armed SEAL operators who think she might be part of the threat, part of the attack, part of war, whatever is happening. Kowalski starts running, down the trail, toward the valley, his 64-year-old legs pumping, his lungs burning in the thin air. Dixon follows, younger, faster, but hesitating, uncertain, but they are 200 meters away. Vertical distance, rough terrain. It will take 3 minutes to reach the valley floor. Eugene will be there in 90 seconds. And Bradshaw is already moving his team toward her position. 6 able-bodied operators, rifles, training, anger. The cliff face is treacherous going down, looser than going up. The handholds crumble, the footholds slip. Eugene's boots slip twice. She catches herself, keeps moving. No time to be careful, no time to be safe. She is 50 meters from the valley floor when she hears them. Boots on rock, multiple people, moving fast, running. The distinctive sound of military boots. Vibram soles, leather, metal eyelets. The SEALs have reached her position. She drops the last 10 feet, falls through the air, lands in a crouch, absorbs the impact with her legs, stands. 8 rifles point at her. Bradshaw steps forward. His face is hard. Granite, controlled fury barely contained behind professional discipline. On your knees, hands behind your head. Now. Eugene does not move. I said on your knees. She slowly raises her hands, palms open, fingers spread, but she does not kneel, does not submit. One of the SEAL operators moves behind her, grabs her pack, opens it roughly, pulls out the Remington M24. Disassembled. Components, but unmistakable. Sir. Sniper rifle. Suppressed barrel. No training modifications. Custom glass. Match-grade weapon. Another operator checks the chamber of the assembled upper receiver. Live round. Match-grade ammunition. Federal gold medal. 175 grain. Bradshaw's expression darkens, hardens. You brought a weapon to a training exercise. You fired on United States Marines. You endangered my team. You violated about 15 federal laws. Eugene meets his eyes, says nothing. Who are you? Silence. I asked you a question, ma'am. Who are you? The operator behind her grabs her jacket, pulls it down off her shoulders to check for more weapons. To search her, to identify her. The torn fabric falls away. Her tattoo is fully visible now. Upper arm, black ink. No color, just lines, but unmistakable. The scout sniper skull, the crossed rifles, the rope, the traditional Marine Corps emblem, the mountain silhouette behind it, steep peaks, sharp angles, and below it, clear in the morning light, numbers and letters. USMC 0317, JSOC MSOB, Ghost. The operators freeze, every single one. One of them, the team sergeant, lowers his rifle slightly. His eyes widen. Sir? Bradshaw stares at the tattoo. His face has gone pale, white, like he has seen a ghost. Which he has. That is not possible. His voice is quiet now, almost a whisper. Kowalski arrives, running, out of the breath, wheezing. He pushes through the SEAL team. Stand down! All of you, stand down! Bradshaw does not look away from Eugene. Master Sergeant, This woman brought an unauthorized weapon to a federal training facility. She fired on United States Marines. That woman, Kowalski interrupts, just saved your entire team. She fired on Marines. She fired on smoke grenades to give you cover. She destroyed a radio antenna to force OPFOR to withdraw. She did it from 300 meters with a moving target in variable wind at a 70-degree down angle. Kowalski's voice is shaking, not from exertion, from emotion. I know because I taught her those exact shots 12 years ago. The SEAL team sergeant steps closer, reads the tattoo, his eyes widen further. Recognition, memory, legend, ghost. His voice is barely a whisper. Mountain Ghost. First female Marine Scout sniper to qualify for JSOC Mountain Warfare Group. Killed in action. Syria. 2019. Bradshaw shakes his head, still staring, still not believing. That operator is deceased. Killed in action. IED. Convoy ambush. No remains recovered. Memorial service. I read the casualty report. Eugene speaks for the first time since the shooting started. Her voice is quiet, controlled, flat. I got better. Bradshaw stares at her. The team sergeant stares at her. All 8 SEALs are staring now, at the tattoo, at the woman, at the ghost. Dixon arrives, breathless, gasping. Sir, there is something you need to know. This was not an accident. The ammunition was swapped deliberately. Hayes, our equipment NCO, he has been... Where is Hayes? Kowalski interrupts. Dixon looks around. The observation post, the trail, the valley, gone. He ran when the shooting started, 15 minutes ago, maybe more. Bradshaw is still processing. His wounded men, the live ammunition, the woman standing in front of him with a tattoo that should belong to someone dead. Ma'am. His voice is different now, less angry, more confused, more careful. If you are who this tattoo says you are, why are you here? As a range safety officer? Eugene does not answer immediately. She looks at Kowalski, then at Dixon, then back at Bradshaw. Her eyes are calculating, measuring, deciding how much to reveal. Because someone is stealing from you, Lieutenant, and selling it to people who want Americans to die. What? Hayes is not working alone. There is a network, arms trafficking. They have been swapping ammunition, stealing explosives, selling them on the black market. This exercise was bait. Eugene's voice is calm, professional. Like she is briefing a mission, not explaining why 2 SEALs are bleeding. You used us as bait? Bradshaw's anger is returning. I used myself as bait. You were supposed to be safe. Training ammunition only, blank firing adapters, safety protocols. Someone moved up their timeline. Eugene looks at Kowalski. Did Hayes have access to the ammunition before last night? Kowalski thinks. Remembers. No. We did the final inventory yesterday at 1600 hours. Everything was correct. Blanks verified. Training grenades verified. I signed off myself. So, he swapped them last night, after inventory, after everyone left. Eugene's mind is working through the timeline, calculating, which means he knew. Someone told him the investigation was close. Someone warned him. The SEAL team sergeant speaks up. Ma'am, with respect, 2 of my men are wounded. We need medevac. Now. Whatever else is happening, they need medical attention. Eugene pulls a radio from her pocket. A different one. Not base issue, not standard equipment. Encrypted, secure, military grade. She keys it. This is Ghost. Exercise Kodiak is compromised. 2 casualties. Need immediate medevac and security team. Suspect fled on foot. Approximately 15 minutes ago. Direction unknown. Armed and dangerous. A voice responds immediately. Professional, calm. Copy Ghost. Birds are airborne. ETA 8 minutes. Security team en route. FBI is standing by. Bradshaw's eyes widen. FBI? This is not just theft, Lieutenant. This is federal. Arms trafficking across state lines. Possible connection to foreign buyers. Conspiracy. Attempted murder. SOCOM has been tracking this network for 11 months. Eugene's voice is quiet, steady. And you just became witnesses. And you are SOCOM? I was. Eugene's voice is quieter now, softer. Officially, I died 3 years ago in Syria. IED, convoy ambush, classified burial. Unofficially, I have been working cases like this, finding leaks, stopping weapons from reaching the wrong hands. The team sergeant looks at his wounded men, then at Eugene. You could have told us. We could have helped. If I told you, the network would have known. They have sources. Someone feeding them information. Eugene glances at Dixon. Sometimes those sources do not even know they are sources. Dixon looks at the ground. His face is shame, guilt, regret. A distant sound grows louder. Helicopters. 2 Black Hawks appear over the ridge. They circle once. Assessment, threat evaluation, then land in a clearing 200 meters south. Rotor wash kicks up dust, rocks. The sound is deafening. Medics jump out, running, carrying litters, medical bags, start running toward the SEAL position. Behind them, 6 operators in civilian clothes, jeans, tactical shirts, body armor underneath, rifles. They spread out, secure the perimeter, professional, efficient, silent. One of them approaches Eugene. He is older, 50 maybe, gray hair cut military short, hard eyes, weathered face, the kind of face that has seen too much. Ghost. Colonel Hayes fled on foot. 15 minutes head start. He knows these mountains, knows the terrain. Eugene pauses, but he is not a field operator. He is logistics. He will not last long. The colonel keys his radio. All units, suspect is mobile in the training area. Coordinates follow. Consider armed and dangerous. Establish roadblocks. Lock down all access points. He looks at Bradshaw. His expression is professional, neutral. Lieutenant, I am Colonel Pierce, SOCOM Investigative Services. Your men did well today. I am sorry it went this way. Sir, my men were almost killed because someone in the logistics chain is dirty, and we needed to catch them in the act. Colonel Pierce's voice is flat, professional, no emotion. Eugene was supposed to identify the leak, gather evidence, make the arrest. She was not supposed to break cover. Eugene speaks quietly. 2 men were about to die, sir. I know. Colonel Pierce looks at her. And you made the right call. But now Hayes knows we are on to him. And whoever he is working for knows we are on to them. Then we find Hayes, Eugene says, before he makes contact. Already on it. We have teams at every road, every trail, every communication point within 20 miles. He cannot get far. Colonel Pierce pauses, but he might have an extraction point. Someone picking him up. Eugene pulls out a map, spreads it on a rock. Weatherproof, tactical, marked with notes. Where would you put an extraction point? Road access, cover, fast exit. Kowalski leans over the map. He knows these mountains, knows every trail, every road, every clearing. There, logging road, 12 miles north. Ends at a clearing. Helicopter could land there, or a vehicle could wait. How long to reach it on foot? From here, 5 hours if he is fast, 7 if he is careful. What time did he leave? Dixon checks his watch. 15 minutes ago, 0730 hours. Eugene traces the route, so he could be there by 12:30 hours if he pushes, 13:30 hours if he is cautious. But Hayes is not stupid. He knows we will think of the logging road. Too obvious. Kowalski's finger moves across the map. Then where? There, Eugene points. Old fire access trail. Abandoned. Has not been maintained in years. Ends at a ridge. Good visibility. You could land a helicopter there if you were skilled. Or desperate. How long? 8 hours. Maybe 9. Rough terrain. Kowalski studies the map. He would arrive around 1600 hours. We have time. Eugene looks at Colonel Pierce. We need to intercept him. Bradshaw steps forward. My team can help. Colonel Pierce shakes his head. Your team needs medevac with the wounded, and this is a federal operation now. With respect, sir, 2 of my men were nearly killed. 1 SEAL still has his rifle up. We have a stake in this. Colonel Pierce looks at him for a long moment, then at Eugene. Your call, Ghost. Eugene studies Bradshaw. The anger is still there, but there is something else now. Respect, recognition. Can your men move fast in mountains, rough terrain, no trails? We are SEALs, ma'am. We can move anywhere. Then gear up. We leave in 10 minutes. While teams review mission data on ruggedized tablets built for extreme conditions, many veterans rely on military-grade technology designed to survive what ordinary devices cannot. The next 10 minutes are controlled chaos. The wounded are loaded onto helicopters. IVs started, pressure bandages, stabilization. Equipment is distributed. Bradshaw briefs his team. 6 operators, all able-bodied, all angry. Eugene changes out of the torn jacket. Underneath, she is wearing a base layer and tactical pants. She pulls gear from her pack: plate carrier, magazines, radio. The Remington M24 gets broken down, stored carefully. She pulls out a different rifle, an HK-416. Shorter, better for moving through dense terrain, better for close quarters. The team moves out at 0800 hours. The terrain is brutal. Steep slopes, loose rock, no trail. They are moving cross-country, navigating by GPS and map, pure land navigation. Eugene sets the pace. She knows these mountains, knows where the roots are, where the obstacles hide, where the dead ends wait. The SEALs keep up, barely. They are fit, well-trained. But mountain movement is different. It requires rhythm, patience, reading terrain. Eugene moves like she was born in these rocks. After 2 hours, they stop for water. The SEALs are breathing hard. Eugene is not. At 1200 hours, they reach a ridge. Williams, the tracker, finds something. Boot prints, fresh, size 10, military issue. Hayes, Colonel Pierce says. Williams examines the prints. He is moving fast, too fast, not watching his trail discipline, panicked. They push harder. The terrain gets worse, steeper, more exposed. Eugene is in her element. At 1330 hours, they reach a position overlooking the extraction point. It is exactly as Eugene predicted, an old fire access ridge, flat, clear, big enough for a helicopter to land. And Hayes is already there, sitting on a rock, checking his phone, waiting, 900 meters away. Eugene settles into a prone position, pulls out her rifle, looks through the scope. Hayes looks tired, scared. He keeps checking his watch, looking at the sky, waiting for his ride. We need to move now, Eugene says, before he has support. The team split up. Bradshaw's element moves down the east approach. Eugene and Colonel Pierce approach from the west, slow, careful, using cover. They get within 300 meters before Hayes stands up. He has heard something. His hand goes to his waistband. He is armed. Hayes starts walking, not toward the trail, toward the tree line. He knows. All units, suspect is moving. Intercept. Intercept. Bradshaw's team breaks cover, running. Hayes sees them, pulls his weapon. Federal agents, stop! Put down the weapon! Hayes fires. The shot goes wide, but it is enough. The SEALs return fire. Controlled bursts. Suppressive. Hayes runs into the trees. Eugene is already moving. She knows where he is going. There is only one route through that tree line, a game trail, narrow, steep. She cuts through the forest, moving fast, using terrain. She reaches the trail 30 seconds before Hayes, takes a knee, aims, waits. Hayes comes around the corner, running, breathing hard, sees Eugene, stops. They are 10 feet apart. His weapon is up, pointed at her. Her weapon is up, pointed at him. Drop it, Eugene says. It is over. Hayes is shaking, sweating. You do not understand. They will hurt my family. They know where I live. They know my kids' school, their names, their schedules. Who are they? I cannot tell you. They will know. They always know. Then let us protect you. Put down the weapon. We can help. You cannot help. Hayes's finger is on the trigger. Nobody can help. They are everywhere. They have people everywhere. Behind him, Colonel Pierce appears, silent, weapon up. Hayes, the colonel says quietly, this does not have to end badly. Hayes spins. His weapon swings toward the colonel. Eugene fires. One shot. Hayes goes down. The weapon falls from his hand. Eugene moves forward, kicks the weapon away, checks Hayes. He is alive, shot in the shoulder, non-lethal, but he is down. Colonel Pierce is already on the radio. Suspect in custody. Need medevac. Gunshot wound. Stable. Hayes is on the ground, bleeding, crying. They are going to hurt my family. Please, you have to protect them. Colonel Pierce kneels next to him. We will protect your family, but you need to give us names. Who are you working for? I cannot. They will know. They already know, Hayes. You failed. The weapons did not get out. The SEALs did not die. Your network is blown. The only question now is whether you cooperate. Hayes looks at him, then at Eugene, then closes his eyes. Tower 4. What? Tower 4. That is what they call themselves. I never met them. Just phone calls, encrypted messages, dead drops for payment. How many people? I do not know. At least 6, maybe more. Different bases, different branches, all logistics. And who runs it? I do not know. I swear. Hayes continues. They mentioned something else. Project Glass. Delivery in 3 months. That was 6 months ago. The helicopter arrives. Medics jump out, load Hayes onto a stretcher. Eugene stands on the ridge, looking at the mountains. Bradshaw approaches. That was a good shot. Thank you. What happens now? Now we go back. Debrief. Figure out how deep this goes. Eugene starts walking, and I disappear again. Back to being dead, back to being a ghost. The Black Hawk touches down at Fort Carson Main Base at 1500 hours. Hayes is taken off first, stretcher, handcuffs. 4 agents escort him to a waiting ambulance. Kowalski is waiting on the tarmac. We need to talk, he says to Eugene. There is a bench near the hangar. They sit. Syria, 2019. My team was escorting a CIA asset. Someone sold our route. We drove into a kill zone. IED, small arms fire, RPGs. 15 people. Kowalski listens. I pulled 4 people out, got them to cover, but the enemy kept coming. I called in danger close air support, told the pilots to hit our position. 30 seconds warning. I pulled my people into a drainage culvert. The bombs fell. And 3 of my people survived. The 4th did not. But the enemy had been filming. The CIA asset was compromised. If anyone knew I survived, they would hunt everyone connected. So SOCOM declared me KIA. My family thinks I am dead. Kowalski is quiet. And you have been doing this ever since? Someone has to. Tower 4 is one network. There are others. 12 years ago, you were the best student I ever taught. You earned Ghost. Those SEALs are alive because of you. Thank you, John. The debrief lasts 2 hours. 15 people. FBI, NCIS, SOCOM, ATF. Eugene tells everything. Hayes gave us names, Colonel Pierce says. We are running them now. This is bigger than we thought. He pulls up a map. Red dots appear. 6 bases, Fort Carson, Fort Benning, Camp Pendleton, 29 Palms, Fort Bragg, Naval Base San Diego. What about Dixon? Eugene asks. He is cooperating fully, blackmailed, made bad choices, but not a criminal. Administrative discipline, no criminal charges. And Hayes? Federal charges, theft, conspiracy. Attempted murder, weapons trafficking, 20 to 30 years minimum. The next morning, simultaneous raids hit all 6 bases. Fort Carson, 2 arrests. Camp Pendleton, 1 arrest. 29 Palms, 3 arrests. Fort Bragg, 1 arrest. Naval Base San Diego, 1 arrest. Warehouse discovered with stolen explosives. By 0800 hours, 9 people are in custody. Tower 4 is broken. Off-duty, some service members quietly use veteran-focused financial planning services designed to turn unpredictable combat pay into long-term security after leaving the uniform. Eugene returns to Fort Carson at 1400 hours. Colonel Pierce meets her. Good work. Morrison is talking. Gave up 2 more names. What about the officer? The senior voice? Still unknown, but we hurt them today. Based on the weapons we recovered, conservative estimate, we prevented at least 3 major attacks, saved hundreds of lives. There is a knock. Kowalski enters. They are holding a formation. For you. Eugene walks outside. The sun is setting. Golden light across the mountains. Bradshaw's team is assembled. All 8 operators, including the 2 wounded. On crutches but standing, Bradshaw calls them to attention. At ease, Lieutenant. Ma'am, my team wanted to thank you. You saved our lives. You gave up your operational security. You risked everything. I was doing my job. No, ma'am. You went beyond the job. He hands her a challenge coin. Navy SEAL Trident. On the back, engraved words. Mountain Ghost. Honorary SEAL. With gratitude and respect. Thank you, Lieutenant. This means more than you know. If you ever need anything, anytime, anywhere, you call. She nods, cannot speak. The team salutes. She returns it. If you appreciate stories about people dismissed as weak who protect others from the shadows, share this. There are more stories like this waiting. Later, in her quarters, Eugene sits on the bed, pulls out her encrypted phone. One new message. Tower 4 network compromised. 9 arrests. But the foundation remains. Glass delivery successful. Next cell activated. Fort Hood. Timeline 60 days. It is not from SOCOM. It is from Tower 4. They know who she is, what she did, and they are still operational. She types a response. Received. Acknowledged. Proceeding. Deletes the message. Both sides. The next morning, Eugene meets Colonel Pierce. New assignment, Fort Hood. Intelligence suggests Tower 4 has a cell there. Different role, different cover. When do I leave? 72 hours. Eugene, they know about you now. They sent that message to intimidate you. I know. Are you afraid? Eugene considers, no, I am patient. And in the mountains, patience is the greatest weapon. Good, because this is not over. Project Glass is out there. The senior officer is unknown. Tower 4 will rebuild. I will stop them. Kowalski is waiting at the edge of the base where the mountains begin. Heard you are leaving. Soon. Be careful. They know who you are now. They know a ghost. Ghosts are hard to catch. John, if something happens, tell my family I love them. Nothing is going to happen. Come back. And when it is done, come home, really home. Not as a ghost, as Eugene. Eugene looks at him. I promise. They shake hands. He pulls her into a brief hug. Take care, Ghost. You too, Sergeant. She walks toward the helicopter. Behind her, Kowalski watches until she disappears. In her quarters, Eugene opens her laptop. Tower 4 network map appears. 9 arrests marked in red, but there are still dots, still connections, still unknowns. And in the center, a question mark. The senior officer. She zooms in on Fort Hood. Satellite imagery, personnel rosters, supply chain data. Somewhere in that information is the answer. She will find it. She always does. Her phone buzzes. Colonel Pierce. Transport leaves in 30 minutes. Good hunting, she replies. Acknowledged. Target acquired. Moving to intercept. On the tarmac, the helicopter waits. Rotors spinning, door open. She climbs in, straps in, puts on the headset. Ready, ma'am? Ready. The helicopter lifts off, rises above the base, above the mountains, into the clear Colorado sky. Eugene looks down, at the range where it all started, where she saved 8 lives, where she broke cover, where she became visible again. But only for a moment. Now she is a ghost again, hunting in the shadows, protecting people who will never know her name, stopping threats that will never make the news. It is lonely work, dangerous work, thankless work, but it is her work, and she is good at it. The helicopter turns south, toward Texas, toward Fort Hood, toward the next cell, toward Tower 4. In her pocket, the SEAL Challenge coin feels heavy, a reminder that someone knows, someone remembers, someone is grateful. It is enough. The mountains fade behind her, but their lesson remains. In the mountains, patience kills faster than bullets. She has been patient for 3 years. She can be patient longer. Tower 4 thinks they are safe. They think 9 arrests will scare her off. They are wrong. She is just getting started. And when she is done, when every last cell is rolled up, when every last traitor is behind bars, when the network is destroyed completely, then maybe she will go home. Then maybe she will stop being a ghost. But not today. Today, she hunts.
The stories end here, but the journey continues. Many new episodes are waiting for you. And if you enjoy, please take a moment to like, subscribe to our EV Story channel, and turn on the bell. See you in the next story.